What's going on, everybody? Proud to announce the Spotlight Sports Network are partnered with SeatGeek. Save $20 off your first order for live events, concerts, and sporting events, and more. All you have to do is just insert the promo code Spotlight Sports Network to save today. Again, that's Spotlight Sports Network and save $20.
Yo, most y'all.
God, this is to me every time on mute.
It put me on mute too. I had it on mute. Like, what the heck, man?
Well, that interest will do that for you. But man, welcome back to another episode 8 of Between the Lines, where all things MLB and all that good stuff. You know, the post game stuff and like shit like that, recaps, news. Yeah, I mean, damn. How are we feeling after this? Whew.
We got the whole World Series team right here.
Yep.
Who would have thought?
Both sides.
We got the whole and we got the whole world. Sorry, I had to pull a break.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here. Since we're bringing up wrestling, this is a 3-on-1 handicap match. This stream.
Hey, so I gotta start out with some. This morning I got most of it off, but I would appreciate if someone put me on the front screen right quick before we start.
Oh boy.
I
got a message.
Oh no.
It's gonna get real. Somebody put me on the front screen right quick. So okay. Boy. I know y'all been hearing a lot from me today, Yankees fans, on Instagram and on Twitter. You know, before the series started, you guys yelled it. I want Astros. So you claim that you wanted the Astros, right? But you get beat down 4-0. You get slaughtered 4-0. But how many excuses you're gonna make this time? Like I said this morning in the morning show, thanks for Keith for letting me get most of it off. When we had to leave you, they lucky I wasn't at the beginning. But right now, this is the baseball podcast, and now I got to get it all off. What are the excuses now? Because game 3, game 2, we had the win, was an excuse. We had the roof, was an excuse. Well, guess what? Don't Yankee Stadium play without no roof? Don't Yankee Stadium play without no roof as well? I'm sure sworn that upfield plays without no roof. What, it was colder last night. Oh, DJ LeMahieu out. Is that going to be an excuse? Benintendi is out. Is that going to be an excuse? Well, we had Michael Brantley out. We did have Michael Brantley out, one of our top hitters who hits 300. So what going to be the excuses this year, Yankees? 4 out of the last 8 years, the Astros have stopped you from getting to the World Series. And you have went home from getting to the World Series by the same cheating team. Let's stop making excuses. Making all of these excuses shows how much of a sore losing organization you guys is right now. And you guys are sore losers. Don't hold yourself, but not any type of accountability of the errors that you guys make, of the non-hitting that you guys did until game 4. But other than that, how about we celebrating on your guys' field last night and ending the series on you guys' field last night? So at the end of the day, shout out to the Phillies nation, shout out to the Astros nation, and we deserve to party and have this fun together. And the Yankees are damn sure are not a part of it. And guess what? you guys got a long way to go before you get on the Astros goddamn level. But all that you want Astros, you got it. So guess what? Now you at home, and that's the end of the speech.
Damn.
Let me add to that here. I smell a stench. Oh yeah, that's what that is. That's the Stankies.
And they stunk it up.
And I want to add to this thing too, like what Dante said. Remember, they play better at home because it's a short field. Because like none of all the home runs is like
literally every home run that they hit will be a fly ball elsewhere. Like, come on.
But yeah. Whew. I mean, damn. Who would have thought this matchup was fun? Well, and rightfully so.
Speaking of rightfully so. In Houston, let's recap that game from last night.
Thank God I didn't watch that game.
Dante did the game.
God bless him.
So tell us your thoughts, man. What's game 4?
My thoughts last night was a great game 4 for the Astros. Didn't start off the right way. Lance McCullers Jr. had some kind of a cut on his arm. That's the reason why he didn't start the game 2. Probably game 3, he was switched for Christian Javier, but he didn't have it at the beginning of last night. Yankees came out. Harrison Bader, give him credit. Man, the dude, and that's another guy that the Yankees need to appreciate. If I was Harrison Bader, I'd leave because the Yankee Nation are getting on Harrison Bader for that error in game 3. But people don't realize for the Yankees, that dude was their best hitter in the postseason. That dude had 4 home runs in the Cleveland Guardians series, so he's the reason why they even were in this situation at all. He did that by himself. So other than that, Lance McCullers didn't have it last night. Yankees started with Harrison Bader at the leadoff spot. Got on. Anthony Rizzo was able to drop. Junior Carlos Stanton been struggling too. Was able to drive him home. So the Yankees scored 2 quick runs in the first inning. They come out another inning, score another run, make it 3-0. But the very next inning, and this is what kind of changed the game. So it takes one big at bat and one swing of the bat for the Astros bats to get the momentum. And you got to remember, you cannot make mistakes against the Astros because they're the best team in baseball of capitalizing on that. So each time you got the Astros down, you got to put them away. You got to play perfect baseball to beat the Astros. So Hester Cortez walks Maldonado, which is you can't walk. That's the worst guy in our lineup, the catcher. He walks Altuve. He goes down 3-1. The very next pitch, Pena, the ALCS MVP, gets him on a fastball right over the middle into right field, that was a no-doubter. That flew up out of the park real quickly. That would change the moment in the game. We end up scoring another run. But like I say, the bullpen has been good all year long. Hector Neris finally gave up a run. Like I say, I couldn't be mad at him because Harrison Bader was hot. He had a hot bat all night. He tried single-handedly keep the Yankees in the game. So I said on the stream, I can't be mad at him from giving up that run. He's been so good throughout the whole season and the whole playoff picture. He's been so good. Harrison Bader has been so good throughout the whole postseason. So he jumped on the first pitch he saw and he hit it out. He hit out to right field. So I got to give him credit. And then again, the play that gave the Astros the win, the Gleyber Torres error allowed Altuve to go to second, and Pena reached that first. And next thing you know, the man that got paid, Yordan Alvarez, hits a single to left field, score Altuve, and how many times Alex Bregman, 43 career postseason RBI hits, that it was top of all times of all third basemen. Comes up, hit a single to right center, and that was pretty much the game. And Brian Abreu and Ryan Presley was able to close it out, but it was fun, man. The pitching wasn't there. The bullpen picked up Lance McCullers, but give credit to the offense, man. The offense battled. They worked counts against Loizaga. They got Hester Cortez up out of the game. Just give credit to the Astros, man. And they were the better team in this series, which is everybody knew. Just give credit to the Astros and Dusty Baker from out-coaching Aaron Boone, just like who doesn't out-coach goddamn Aaron Boone? Who does that? But give credit to my Astros, man. They played great, man.
They definitely did. And Aaron Judge. I mean, after that regular season, just like I've seen regular season teams, but when they get into the postseason, they stink. They are the Yankees are the Utah Jazz of MLB. You know, Utah.
You did not. You did not.
Oh no, not the Utah Jazz. You know what? I can see that.
Season, and they get to the postseason and stink.
Or think of this too. It's like the Toronto Maple Leafs in hockey. Constantly in the first year exiting every. Well, technically it was a sick. No, well, not say the Maple Leafs, but in terms of stinking to the postseason. But oh god, that is too funny. God, the Utah Jazz of baseball. God damn.
Yo, Rob just died for that.
Someone's gonna clip that.
they regular season.
And they're good to do well in the regular season, but they suck in the postseason. You know what? That does make sense.
Judge was nowhere to be found. Where was Aaron Judge at? What game?
Where's Waldo?
What game did he strike out 4 times? Was it
game 2? I think it could have been game 3 or probably game 2. But damn.
No, they're not the Jags, Damian. They're definitely not the Jags. They're not rebuilding.
Yeah, they're not the Jags.
That means we never know if the way because after all that performance, if I'm Judge, man, do you want to go back to the team that's constantly, almost as first or second round exit? Absolutely not. I want at least to go somewhere that I can actually contend and actually stay in the postseason. Yeah. For me, I wouldn't be surprised if he did leave, because that's on the Yankees for not trying to build around Aaron Judge.
This is on Cashman and on Boone. Majority of it's Cashman. He's trying to buy a championship. You can't do that. You gotta develop a team. He has not done that. Mm-hmm. He's bought this team, and it's not.
It's not working.
No.
Because we did talk about this too on the late night show last night, and Dante said it best. I mean, you can't buy championships. I mean, and take it from us. I mean, even though we had to get some pieces, but most of our pieces were homegrown talent, and it wasn't easy.
Bryson Stott's homegrown. Hoskins is homegrown.
I mean, everybody. Well, I mean,
Harper's homegrown.
I mean, except for JT and Harper.
Yeah, those were those
are the exceptions. And Segura wasn't ours.
But hell, it worked for us.
Yeah, we mixed up homegrown guys with top tier talent. They've only bought the talent.
It's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with getting young savvy veterans like a JT Realmuto to come in. That's something we got. We got homegrown veterans like multi-muttered out of Christian Vasquez, along with these young guys. Think about when we won that 2017 World Series. Who we had? Carlos Beltran, Ryan McCann. We had those guys. Some veteran leadership in that lineup. So
you guys were able to mix up between the veterans and the homegrown talent. The Yankees don't do that.
Because Yankees
like the Lakers. They want stars right now.
They're basically the equivalent. They're the equivalent of the LA Lakers. They get into the playoffs
or either way to say this too, or like the or the Chicago Blackhawks, where they just want to just keep all their old players and just and be like and not in terms of like Chicago.
I wouldn't say the Blackhawks because they actually won a championship.
Well, not in terms of winning a championship, but still sticking with that tradition.
Hold on. I would actually make them the Vegas Golden Knights.
Oh,
they try to buy wins and overspend.
I don't think Jake would be too kindly to that, Tyler.
Or Dub.
That's the truth, though. They bought their way into contention.
Not really, because no. Because the Golden Knights' very first season, what happened? They went to the Stanley Cup. They went to the championship with nobody. So you can't
they actually overspent. They overspent and they went over the cap. Because remember, they had to get rid of a lot of players.
It's a new franchise. They gotta have a draft and everything.
It's a new franchise, but they overspent. They should have relied on younger talent, tanked for some younger talent, and built through that. I don't like to tank, and I don't.
If we stink for a reason, we're gonna stink for a reason. But we're not gonna lose games just to get the good players. So I'm
And the way that I see it, this is where I think too, where this whole spec with the Yankees too, they got to break tradition. I'm sorry, but this tradition bullshit that we saw in
The
Chicago.
whole no beard, they're focused
the
on the
entire,
no beard thing. Like, come on.
Like, not to mention too, you have Anthony Volpe in your farm system. You have like so many of these other like red hot prospects. Like, you're not giving these fuckers a chance. Like, damn. Like this is where for me, I hate tradition a lot of times because with the Yankees, yes, I get what they stand for, but they haven't really been World Series relevant since 2009.
And that's the thing. They should have broken away from tradition, buying championships or buying away to a playoff appearance.
Well, I mean, the only team that
I'll take two sides. I'll take two sides of this. I'll take two sides. I'll take Robert. I'll take Tyler and Key side. You can't buy championships and think you're going to be good forever and competing forever. But one thing about it, the best thing, you got the championship. So you sacrifice everything to get that one thing as a championship. So it's two sides to go into that. But one thing about it, when you continue to buy championships, that's not going to work in the long term. You got to develop at some point. You got to develop your own skill players at some point instead of always trading them away to even try to get players. Like people don't look at that Giovanni Urshela trade and for Josh Donaldson from Minnesota when Josh Donaldson had that year in Minnesota and they gave up Giovanni Urshela, that third baseman, for older Josh Donaldson. Many people don't look at that trade. And Gary Sanchez, that was a horrendous trade that the Yankees did. Giovanni Urshela was just coming to his own. That they lost another contact hitter in Giovanni Urshela. They kept Aaron Hicks, who can't even hit a goddamn, what's one of those plastic balls that you throw for practice?
The wiffle ball?
Yeah, he can't even hit one of those. He can't even hit one of those. He can't even hit one of a ball coming out of a jump machine. He can't even hit the slowest ball up out of a jump machine. Then you got what you call still in the lineup when he's struggling. You got Josh Donaldson in the lineup when he's still struggling. Why is he still in the lineup? So outside of Anthony Rizzo, Aaron Judge, Carlos Torres, you're not in probably Gleyber Torres, but at the same time, you're not scared of that Yankee lineup. You're not scared of that Yankee lineup. Once you get past like Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, and once you get past Harrison Bader, you're not scared of the rest of the Yankees lineup. You're just not scared of the lineup.
No, so I the way that I see it too with Aaron Hicks is he's like the live action stormtrooper who cannot hit on a broadside of a barn.
Yeah,
like that's basically It's just like,
what's up, guys?
And I will say this, and I looked at the numbers too with Urshela with the Yankees. Much better numbers wins with the Yankees, and he had some power too. Like Dante said, Urshela, and he also took a shot at. I could have read this wrong. He tweeted out "Good morning" with a coffee cup because I knew he was. I think he tried to throw some direct shots at Brian Cashman from trying to wait, and Cashman too made some comments too. Like he's not the next Giles. So I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? That dude's your homegrown talent, and you trash him like that? I'm sorry, that's some bullshit. That should not happen."
They need to learn how to develop players instead of buying older, washed players like that. You don't do that. You really don't.
But I mean,
and plus, if you're going to get players, mix it up with the homegrown talent, like the Phillies did. Mix it up.
Even though it took us some time to find the right veteran pieces, but I mean,
yeah.
But we found. I mean, Harper. I mean, it took a while for him to kind of get settled, try to get to where we are. But I mean. With JT,
it took him like maybe half the season to get settled in, and then he got settled in, became the MVP the next year. It was great.
But and that's just the thing too. I mean, Dombrowski's, whether you like it, I mean, whether you're a Tigers fan or a Marlins fan, like we know, or a Red Sox fan, because I mean, we know what
2018, the 2018 Red Sox, yeah.
He built that team. Because trying to think who were the rookies on that team in 2018. Good Lord. God, it feels like 2018 sounds like so far long ago. It's only been 4 years ago. God damn. But with Dombrowski, though, I think, yes, I know last year was not one of our better seasons. I mean, Tyler talked about this too. It was an evaluation period. And now we saw guys that Dombrowski was able to take a chance on, like a Mundo Sosa or a Noah Syndergaard. Even though at one point when I looked at it, I was like, I don't know. I was very sketchy of that, but for some reason he's been effective for us out of the bullpen. I'm okay with that. At least keep him around for another year because I think he's going to be a decent bullpen piece. Or Brandon Marsh, for the love of God, like this dude kind of sucked in Anaheim.
We literally saw potential in this guy and took a chance on him, and it's
crazy.
It's great.
All right, so hold that thought. So, of course, as I start this, you know who will ask, "Can you come get me?" So, I'm going to transfer myself to the car. So I'll be back.
Oh, damn.
So I'll be back.
All right.
But yeah. I mean, then so far though, I mean,
so I do got some topics here for us so we can go over that Key did send me. So I'm gonna go across the board up on this one. We're gonna go across the board from Robert, Philly, Positive Philly, and Tyler. We're gonna recap the Phillies and the Padres series. So Robert, give me your thoughts on the series.
Honestly, I thought it was gonna be a good series though. And the fact that, it was two scrappy, battled the two scrappy teams. Who wants it more? And unfortunately, and turns out for us, we wanted it more than anything. And also, we just shut the Padres fans up because Dodgers fans, you guys got your wish. Now you get to make fun of the Padres fans for sitting on the playoff couch, as Coach Dante would coin the term, the playoff couch. I mean, because for me, I just feel like the Padres, they have the talent to be a good World Series contender, but they got some holes, I would say. Honestly, I feel like but we know that, I mean, Tatis, you could just use him as a DH because defensively, he is absolute hot garbage. I mean, so is Juan Soto defensively. I mean, and I really hate to say that because, Soto is decent offensively, but the fact that he's nominated for a Gold Glove finalist is laughable, to say the least. Just because I feel like, because you got guys like Ha-Seong Kim, who's coming out of the war, was probably one of their better defenders at shortstop. I mean, who's the first baseman? Brandon Drury, for the love of God, has actually had a really surprising year. I mean, they got some pieces to be a good playoff contender, but it's just at times, I feel like at times Bob Melvin has his questionable decisions. Sometimes has costed them the series. Like, for example, when we're down 1, like the idea was like some of the Padres fans who were in my chats, kind of said, why not bring it? Or the announcer broadcast that you should at least brought in Josh Hader. But the fact that Josh Hader has not pitched in a certain amount of days, it has costed them. And not to mention to you, who bunts in the bottom, in the last inning, you're down to your final out. Like there's a lot of questionable decisions that Bob.
It wasn't really the final out, and the guy was on
the final
second.
Out.
It was the guy was on second. It was 1 out. He was trying to bunt him over because he thought the next guy would hit.
But no one also knows stinks offensive, even though, like we said, we don't really care about batting average, but Austin Nola as offensively has not been the best. I would say he's not super terrible, but he's like a below average hitter, and Ranger Suarez just make quick work of him and be done with it.
Yeah. It was literally 2 pitches fly out. We were going to the series, so.
Yeah. Positive Philly, give me your thoughts on the Padres series.
I mean, it was definitely intense for sure. I was nervous watching every game.
Yeah.
But I didn't even expect us to, even, I don't want to say make the playoffs, but we were a wild card team, and then to, be in the NLCS and make it to the World Series, it's crazy. But it was a good series for sure. Like I said, I was nervous every single bit watching every single game, but we did it, and we're there are even though we're a World Series team, I don't know who's going to be on this team next year. I know a lot of people are saying they want Rhys Hoskins going. Listen, if we win, I'm going to speak into existence here, Dante. When we beat your Astros and when we win the World Series, who knows? Rhys Hoskins, we might give him another year, another 2 years. I don't know. Would I be against that. If he continues to do what he's been doing the past 2 games, if he continues that in the World Series, I don't know that I would mind it. But I don't want to sign this guy long term. I don't want to sign him long term. We have better options at first base than Rhys Hoskins. But I mean, if he continues to do what he's been doing, I can see him on this team next year. But
I hope, I hope I can, like I say, I hope I can find you positive Philly. If the Astros was to win the World Series, I hope I can literally find you because whenever people trying to talk crap to the Astros and me, it doesn't work out. Arku knows better, but like I say, other than that, I'm gonna be silent mode. I'm gonna be silent mode the whole series. Don't worry about it.
I feel like if we don't make excuses after every loss, we're fine.
Yeah, because Dante will feed off on that. And trust me,
all I can say is it's going to be a good World Series. I know that.
It's going to be a great series. I think that I'll say this too. I'm definitely going to say it's going to go 7 games. I can definitely see how these 2 teams are going to match up. I think it is going to go the entire 7 games.
I feel like it's going to go 6 or 7. They're going to the Astros are going to put up a fight. It's not going to be.
It's not going to be a cakewalk.
Like it's not going to be a cakewalk. I know that for sure.
You said Daniel Barry said if the Astros lose again to the NFC East, Dante, I'm not going to be mad at all. I'm not going to be pissed at all.
Wait.
We lost to the NL East twice. We lost to the Braves and we lost to the Nationals. Those are teams in y'all division in the World Series.
Oh fuck! I forgot.
Crazy. I was looking like on that. I was looking up on that. I'm like, they lost to the Braves, they lost to the Nationals. We're up next. What?
Yep. But last time,
if they lose 3 NL East teams,
I'm not gonna be pissed off at all. I'm not gonna be mad at all.
He's too chill. He's too chill to get mad.
Well, because Dante knows some upcoming talent when he sees it. I mean, take it from us. I mean, yes, we have not like the star talent, so to speak, but we have guys have stepped up when we really needed them to. I mean, outside of Harper, though, he's been fucking red hot. So, I mean, that's besides the point. But it's just this team, this Phillies team, though, has really surprised a lot of people this entire year. Yes, I know not how we want to finish, but I would do want to finish with at least 90 wins. But I mean, look, 87, I'll take the fact we're finally had a better winning season in 3 to 4 years, I would say, give or take.
Not really 3 to 4 years. We haven't had this good of a season since
it's been a while.
I don't know. But
go ahead, Tyler. Give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts, Tyler, on the Padres series. Give me your thoughts on it.
All right, the Padres series. The Padres are scrappy. They're gonna be a thorn in our side for years to come, whether it's in the playoffs or in the regular season. They're a really young and scrappy team. I think the Padres have an upside, for sure. The pitching staff's really good. Their offense is really good. Their defense is kind of good. They've had some misses here and there. We've had some misses here and there too. Not gonna lie. Which kind of does frighten me going into the Astros series because, like Dante said, you got to literally play perfect against this team, and we haven't played perfect in the playoffs. We have not been perfect, and I'm not going to beat around the bush. We've had our fair share of mistakes. Segura with the drop double play ball in one of the games. I think it was like the game before this game.
It was in game 3.
It was in game 3, yeah. He had that mistake. Hoskins had that mistake early on in the playoffs against the Braves. He had another mistake, I think this series too. But this is where I'm conflicted about Hoskins. Like, I want to get a better first baseman defensively, but he's so good offensively that I'm conflicted. Do I want him to go? Do I want him to stay? Like, what do I want? But I feel like if Hoskins plays well and if Segura plays well defensively, that could really help us. But yeah, the Padres series, they put up a fight. I know on paper, like at face value, if you look at the series and the final, series score of 4-1, you're probably thinking face value, man, they really stunk up that series. They really did not stink up this
No,
series.
because these two
The
teams were evenly
Padres
matched.
we were so evenly matched. And the Padres put up a really good fight in every single game.
And this also ties to the fact that what Dante said about too. Like you know how the Astros know how a team to take advantage of missed opportunities. The Padres is the exact same way. Like and some of the mistakes that we made, they took advantage of that because, like Tyler said, that dropped double play.
Literally in the game clincher last night, it was 2-1. 2 missed pitches, 2 wild pitches. It's automatically 3-2. And another thing too, like you can't throw down the middle against these teams.
You really
because they were going to burn you. We've gotten burned a few times.
Yeah.
And I feel like we could have lost this series. We could have done that. We could have blew the series. Honestly.
Absolutely.
But
yeah.
we didn't. We stayed strong. We stayed headstrong. We got through the games. We won the games in the end because we took advantage of mistakes.
Especially in the very last pitch. Really?
Timely hitting.
Oh, absolutely.
Us.
Yeah, I mean
Harper's monster playoffs.
Yeah. Like I said, don't throw it down the middle to that man because he's gonna bite you.
I'm telling you, I am convinced this man's either a god or a robot. He's not human. He's a god or a robot. But yeah, Hoskins came up big offensively in the playoffs.
Especially like game 3 with 2 man carry that team on his back for 4 RBI, 4 out of the 10 runs.
Schwarber got hot. In the NLCS. Late in the NLDS into the NLCS, he got hot. Alec Bohm was pretty good. For some reason, this man no sells getting hit by a pitch. He doesn't even react. He just whatever gets hit and goes whatever and walks to the base. I'm like, how? I'd be on the ground crying.
Or the fact that Kyle Schwarber kisses his boo boo better be like the quote unquote team mama. That's too funny. But
yeah.
It was a fun series though.
Hold on, let me get my thoughts, bro. But he got his hits in. JT really struggled in the playoffs pretty much. He got a few good hits in though. But that whole lineup, what I really loved about this Phillies team throughout this whole entire playoffs, one guy struggles, the whole team backs him up. Past years, one guy struggles, the whole team struggles. This year, different story. I love that.
Well, and Tyler just got to think too. Like, if you looked at the lineups last year, like now with the additions, like like I say with Schwarber and Castellanos has his moments. Even though in regular season he kind of stunk because yes, he was coming off an oblique injury, but he has big hits in the in this post against the Padres.
Yeah, but like I said though, like one guy struggles, the whole team backs him up. And that's what I love about this Phillies team is they're so scrappy offensively, even defensively. One guy messes up, they back him up. Okay, you're struggling. Let me try to. The pitcher's like, okay, you're struggling. Let me pitch better so you don't have to play defense that much. Or let me try to get a ground ball this way. See if another guy has a chance. But I really love how this team has battled back from adversity all year. They deserve to be in the World Series as much as the Astros, and I really think this is going to be one heck of a fight, one heck of a battle between these two teams.
Because and like going off the Tyler's thing too, it's just like in the many years. We've been after 2011. Yes, we know how mediocre we've been. We've been inconsistent over the last few years. We had to go through so many managers, different general managers. Like nothing seemed to work for us. When we got Dombrowski at one point, okay, so it's like we knew what this guy's track record was. Built the Florida Marlins in 1997 by complete freaking accident, wins a World Series with them. Could have had a World Series with Detroit, but they kind of fell short. I would say
could have had a World Series with Boston, but they fell.
Yeah, but And the fact that he was willing to take on chances on guys that were given up on, like by their teams. Remember, we traded a guy that was injury prone in Jojo Romero. Used to be a Philly favorite, but he just couldn't stay healthy. Got him in exchange straight up for Mundo Sosa, and I think he's gonna be he's a valuable bench piece for us.
He's a solid bench piece, my dude. But he also took a chance on Brendan Marsh, which was great. He actually got us a bullpen for once.
Shockingly
awesome.
Or actually put some guys that we thought who would could be good starters, but we've seen Alvin be comfortable in there. We've seen Syndergaard actually being super effective in the bullpen. Like
we're seeing guys that should be bullpen pieces become bullpen pieces, and they're great.
And
we gotta move on to the review the World Series teams. We gotta review that. We gotta preview that. So the World Series preview, we're gonna go across the board again. I'm gonna start at the bottom. I'm gonna start at Tyler. How you see this World Series shaping out, and who you got in the World Series winning the World Series?
I see this going 6 or 7, but I have a sneaking suspicion that it's gonna prove too much for the Phillies. Because I know, like I said, Hoskins could make a mistake here and it will cost them. But they're gonna fight. So I want to say Phillies, but I'm gonna have to lean more towards the Astros because of experience. But I hope the Phillies do win. Prove me wrong. But as it stands right now, I'm gonna have to say Astros.
Got you. Go ahead, positive. I already know your answer.
It's gonna be a great World Series for sure. The Astros, they're in. Dante, correct me if I'm wrong. What is it? Their third consecutive or second straight?
I think it's second straight. We've been to the AL Championship Series 6 years in a row, but it's second straight World Series.
6 years in a row in the ALCS. That's crazy. They have bad history against NL teams. They really do. They lost to the Nationals in 2019 and then lost to the Braves in 2021. So why not have it continue? Who said it can't continue? Y'all have bad history against the NL East teams in the World Series. So let's continue it. And I mean, like I said, it's crazy that we're even here. Obviously, I'm not expecting a clean sweep. We're obviously not, bringing the brooms out against the Astros. But I mean, I can see this, like Tyler said, going 6 or 7 games. I'm gonna say 6 games, but it easily could go 7. And Phillies in 6. Y'all written now.
All right, got you. Robert, how you see it panning out?
I see. Well, it depends on the matchups too, and like Positive Philly said, the Astros have a tendency to struggle against NL East teams. Well, except for one, that's the Washington Nationals, but you guys are gonna beat their ass. But that's besides the point. And like I said, it depends on the pitching matchups. I do say that, like I said, 6 to 7 games, but I mean, as a Phillies fan though, me and Tyler, we agreed about this. Like we talked about this. Like we actually wrote it's ironic for us Phillies fans to write them out because they're not like World Series contenders on paper, but the way that they fought and clawed their way to the Fall Classic, I want to say it's impressive. Houston, we know what they're capable of. They got much better talent and better bullpen than us. But I'm going to go to say Houston in 7 because I think the Phillies are going to fight so hard towards the end, and Houston's going to take it in 7.
See, that's like I say, definition. I like that. Again, being honest, an honest Philly fan. Like I say, everybody know who's the better team in this situation. But like I said, I'm not counting out the Phillies at all. A lot of people said we were gonna beat the Braves, we we're gonna beat the Nationals, and we didn't do that. So again, this year, I believe the Astros are more better. I believe they're ready for every challenge that they put in front of them. The Phillies don't supposed to be in this situation. But like I said, we've seen it over and over. The Nationals got hot in the playoffs. The Braves got hot in the playoffs last year, and they ended up there. Same thing with the Phillies. They're hot if you're the hottest team in baseball, you're gonna find a way to get up out of it. One thing about it, I trust our pitching. When the Yankees was on the run and were calling themselves the 1998 team of the New York Yankees, the most dominant team, guess who was able to stop that run and pitch against that run? None other than the Houston Astros. Cooled them off.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And guess who did it again in the postseason? the Astros. So the Astros know how to pitch to good hitters. I like our pitching staff. Our pitching staff been consistent. If you want to get into a bullpen fight, I love the Astros in that as well. Now the bats, I know Daniel Berry talked about Trey Mancini. Now Altuve struggling. I'm not concerned about that because they normally come up in every situation and they would normally get a big hit. And one thing the Phillies got to stay away from, or the Phillies going to have a chance to win this series, but the one thing that's may hurt the Phillies that the Phillies cannot have, they cannot have errors like the Yankees have. They cannot miss opportunities with runners in scoring situations. They cannot have mental lapses, and they cannot walk guys. They cannot walk guys like the Astros.
No.
You got to realize 1 through 8, the Astros can hit 1 through 8. The weakest hitter in our lineup is the catcher. By far, it's the catchers.
Yeah, and like Don said, don't walk them.
And Christian Vasquez, if he's in the lineup, he's not a weak hitter. He's a great hitter.
I think
but
we saw it in Boston.
When Maldonado is in now, he's the weakest hitter in the Astros lineup. So you got to remember, you can't pitch around him. You're not going to be able to walk Yordan Alvarez in tough situations because guess what? You got Bregman behind him. So those are the things that the Phillies got to limit it. They got to limit the mistakes. They cannot walk guys. They cannot have errors. You just got to stay out of situations like that when you're on the defensive side. Now, on the offensive side, you cannot leave men on base. Not against the Astros. You cannot leave men on the base. You got to bring them in. So that's what I think that's going to probably be a main factor. And I'm going to have the Astros winning this series in 7 games. 7 games.
And to add to Dante's
world championship.
The way that I can say this too, and the Astros are doing that same mentality. Because we know that Martin Maldonado struggles. I mean, yes, we know this. We saw Mancini struggle, but they have next guys up in that lineup just to pretty much in other terms, like we said, pass the baton. Like say, if Mancini struggles, we've seen Yordan Alvarez come huge for the Houston Astros in that lineup, and we've seen guys really, be the next man up. So basically, it's the battle of the next man up between these two lineups.
And also. The fact that he mentioned runners in scoring position, we're notorious for leaving runners on.
Good Lord, don't remind me.
Notorious. We should not do that. We should not do that, like he said, because that's gonna come back to haunt us against the Astros. Because the Astros are exponentially better at that. They're exponentially better at defense. They're exponentially better
in every facet.
Every facet of the game are exponentially better. So we literally got to play perfect ball to be perfection. We got to.
Tyler broke it down. He broke it down. Like everything said, you got to do everything right for the Astros not to win. The Astros are kind of remind me of the Chiefs of the NFL. You got to do everything right. You got to do everything right. If you have mistakes, go ahead, Tyler. Go ahead, finish your point.
Just like Denzel Washington said in Remember the Titans, perfection. The name of the game.
Yep.
And besides, and for those who are like, and we started talking about this too. Like, if we do wind up say losing the World Series, I'm very proud of how this team really overcome that adversity. Through the bullshit that Joe Girardi came through before June 3rd. And then once we had Rob Thompson coming through, we don't know exactly what we're going to get out of him. But unfortunately, the fact we went on like 65 or like over almost 70 wins in the some 100 and some odd games under him, which is nuts to say. And just how impressive this team has fought. Now, if we won the World Series, oh God, I'll be fucking happy. That'll be our second time we saw in our lifetime. But realistically, I think we're going against probably one of the better teams in baseball, and that's the Houston Astros. I mean, look, I'm just seeing it for what it is, realistically. Because let's be real. I mean, like Dante said, these Astros teams are much better than us offensively, defensively, with runners in score position. They have a better bullpen. They got everything that's better than what we have in terms of talent. Well, I mean, because only the back catcher. Well, the only back catcher is Martin Maldonado offensively. But
that's what he said.
Realmuto is the better catcher realistically.
That is, that is true.
When it comes towards throwing people out and being that leader and on defense, the Astros got it by a mile. Astros, man, you want to run against them. You don't want to run against Maldonado and Vasquez. You don't want to run. You don't want to give away outs on the base pass with those guys up right there behind the plate. You don't want to give away outs like that. And that's another thing for the Phillies. They can't capitalize. They can't give up extra outs. They got to stay away from the extra outs. That's like I say, as far as walking, making errors, you can't give Astros second chances, opportunities, because the Astros are one of the best teams in the league of getting them guys off the bases, especially with 2 outs. So any opportunity that the Phillies have, you got to capitalize on it, or if you don't, the Astros will capitalize off those mistakes. And like I say, that's the only way I can see Philly winning this series. Like I say, I think Philly has an opportunity. They have an opportunity to win this series. They just got to do everything. They just got to do everything right. They just got to do everything right.
Exactly, and
do it
that's
right.
why I'm on the fence about this, and I chose the Astros in my prediction because I don't know. I really don't know. This team does have a tendency to mess up plays. Like Hoskins messed up at first base countless times in the playoffs.
And Segura, you hardly ever see
Segura
him
messed
make
up that-
mistakes.
Yeah, Segura made a mistake on that failed double play. In game 2 of the ALCS, this team has a tendency to mess up, so they
But
need to
it's-
not mess up. And the thing is, they also have a tendency to strike out a lot on occasion too. They get blanked sometimes. You can't do that either. You have to put up a fight. Also, the runner in scoring position. You got to bring the guy home. You
Gotta
got
capitalize
to bring him
on
home.
that. And
Capitalize.
Dante said it best. I mean, and if you go back to the regular season, the Mets ate that shit up against us. Remember, we struggled with them. Like we put good hits against them, but we couldn't score against them. That's one of the reasons.
Thing. We even screwed up with runners in scoring position to the Cubs. The damn
Don't
Cubs.
fucking remind me.
We
God, that's
we got swept twice to the Cubs. Once earlier in the season, once late in the season, and that's what screwed. And that's what. Hold on. But that's what screwed us up. Is that we left runners in scoring position. We literally could have had over 100 win, not over 100, over 90 wins if we didn't get swept by these bad teams because of this.
Or the Diamondbacks.
Late in the season. We need to bring guys home.
Even looking at the postseason, we have done that really well, shockingly, really well.
That's what shocked me. We've actually brought home runners.
Yeah, I'm looking at this like, are you sure this is the right Phillies team? I'm seeing this right. This Phillies team that actually brings.
I'm telling you right now, as soon as the playoffs started, we walked through the twilight zone.
It really is.
We walked through like this weird time warp, the multiverse. I don't know, like some multiverse of madness crap's going on.
But I'm excited though. I mean, it's just like, it's just like for those who do not follow Phillies baseball, it's been way too fucking long since we've seen the Fall Classic. The last time we won was back in 2008 when we had a really stacked team. When we had Howard, Utley, Rollins, Chooch.
Now, Daniel, I don't see that realistically happening.
I really don't.
So
them winning every single home game, I don't. It's not. Look, as much as I want that to happen, I do have us the best bet that we have to ensure us winning at home is splitting with Houston in Houston.
Yep.
Those first 2 games.
And which we have to, even though, and that's a very good point, because yes, we know the regular season does not matter, but if you really looked at it, that's kind of, even though we did lose 2 out of 3, but at that point, like, we really didn't care.
But here's the thing: we won that first game, but that first game mattered because we had to clinch.
It really does matter.
The next 2 games, we just sat our starters and said tank the rest of the season,
and
we got 2 games left. So those games didn't matter. This matters.
Like, this is a whole different animal.
This matters. This is the World Series. This matters.
God damn, I'm very fucking nervous as it is.
So we got to move on. We got to get to the Yankees. What's next for the Yankees? We got to get to who's winning win the Gold Glove out of each position. We got to do the Dodgers. So this next topic, I'm gonna start with you first, Robert. About this one, hiring of Bruce Bochy makes the Rangers. What will that make? Will that make a difference basically for the Rangers hiring Bruce Bochy?
I do think it's going to definitely make a difference because I feel like the Texas Rangers I like because they're going in the right direction in terms of what they have at talent wise. I mean, look, you got Corey Seager. I thought he actually had a really good first year. Same with Marcus Semien got off of a slow start, but really finished strong. Jonah Heim, I think he's going to be a really good catcher for years to come for that team. The rotation for me has to get some work done, because Glenn Otto for me just doesn't. So he's your typical, for me, it's like your typical 4 to 5 guy in the rotation. Dane Dunning, he's good when he can be. I think if Bruce Bochy can get the right coaching staff, I think this team could make some noise in the AL West. But do I think? I mean, if it was somehow, I think they're still a wild card team at best. But I don't really see them, going as far. I mean, I think they still will fall short of the wild card. But I mean, it's still it's going to take time with this Texas Rangers team, because if you really think about it, they've only had a solid team since 2011. I mean, ever since then, it's just been nothing but downhill. Yuri lost. I mean, Yuri had guys thought was really underrated, but one is potential Hall of Famer, Adrian Beltre. But I do think this will make a difference, though. It depends on what Bruce Bochy puts in place, especially with his coaching staff. If he gets a good hitting coach, a good pitching coach, I think this team could be good for years to come. And I think they got a good one, because Chris Woodward, I know there's some Rangers fans saying he didn't get a chance, but realistically, Woodward just did not seem to fit the managerial role, and so was the interim, just never really seemed to work. But knowing what you're getting out of Bochy, and the resume speaks for itself. The dude is a 3-time World Series champion winner. Like, you're getting, I think that's one of the best coaching hirings that they ever had since Ron Washington.
Now I'm on the fence. With this, because I see a lot of parallels with the Phillies with this. They hired a guy who hasn't coached in X amount of years. Sure, he won a world championship. That was years ago. Also, you fired a relatively inexperienced head coach or manager. I don't know about this move. I feel like it's another Girardi move. It's going to go bad. It's going to go sour. I don't see this being a good hire. I really don't.
But anyway, like I say, I just don't see it as being I can see the hiring kind of failed, because guess what? You do got Bruce Bochy, but guess what? Will that take you over the top of beating the Astros, the team that you got to get over the top? Can you say, well, I think the Rangers are better than the Oakland A's. I think they're damn sure better than the goddamn
by a mile.
Los Angeles Angels by a million percent. The only thing about that, you question Mike Trout and Ohtani right there. That's the only.
Well, they might even have Ohtani anymore.
So again, you got the bats. I mean, you got Nathaniel Lowe, who's had a good season this year. You had a great second half. You got Garcia. You got Garcia, who's very good. You got Garcia, who's very solid.
Jonah Heim's great behind the plate.
Jonah Heim is great behind the plate, and plus you got Corey Seager, who's really good. But the pitching is not really good. And that's the problem I can see the Texas Rangers having. The pitching is not really good.
I will say this too. Even though good Lord, even though lost 4 straight against the freaking Rangers, their pitching wasn't the best. And I agree with Dante with that. I mean, at the time we didn't really put up much of a fight, because we made their bat pitchers look super good, even though realistically they had not been the best. Jonah Heim was just killed us offensively, and I think Jonah Heim is that guy for Texas Rangers. I think, who was there? I mean, they had a solid catcher since Pudge Rodriguez, if my memory serves me correctly. Good Lord. It's been a while. But Daniel, as much as I would love to have that, but that's too much money to spend. But then
Charles too pricey, and we're already settled at outfield, so I don't see that. I really don't.
Trey Turner, though?
Trey Turner, I could see.
And you can move
Mike Trout, that's too much of a high price point for him. And we're already set at outfield.
He's still under contract for the next, 10 or so years at this point?
Which is dumb.
But, I mean, with Trey Turner, though, I think you can get him for a reasonable price. I think if we don't pick up Segura's option, you're going to get you can move Stott to second and have Trey as short. I mean, Trey can also give you a lot of power, and let's be real, you could also have him in the leadoff spot, which please do, because I think. But then again, yeah, I could see that and have Schwarber somewhere like in the 5 or 6 range in the batting order. Now that I think about it, that looks.
I mean, you could move Schwarber to DH, but I don't. He's been effective in that leadoff spot in the playoffs,
which is surprising.
I know he was bad in the leadoff spot for the most part in the regular season, but he still belted out 40 home runs. I know his batting average was bad, but he's not a hitter. He's a power hitter. He's only going to hit home runs in today's game, so it's like it doesn't really matter. But I feel like Mike Trout is just too much for a high price point. We're already over the luxury tax as is.
And you also think too, and Trout's not getting any younger at the same time. You have to take that into account. I think it was like 31 or 32. I mean, who knows how much
Trout just hitting his prime, and you ain't got time to give up the whole goddamn farm system.
Absolutely not.
Give up the whole farm system for him anyway. You're gonna have.
And we had it our
farm system and the bats, most of the bats in your lineup, so you ain't got time for all that.
And I'm still
hurt the team for one.
We did that one time. We gave up the farm system for a player, and then that bit us at the end.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to think of what year it was. And I'll say this too.
This was the year that we gave up the farm system with Ruben Amaro Jr.
Which instigated
which instigated a rebuild.
And I'll say this too, though. I mean, we first of all, I think it was like 2014. What was Mike Trout's draft class? What, 2013, 2014?
No, he was 2012. He was 2012.
Like how that?
He was in that same trash. He was in that same draft class as Harper and.
No, Harper was 2010.
Machado. No, he was 2012.
But I'm thinking to myself, like,
Harper had to was spend 2012, Rob. He was 2012.
Shit. Yeah.
He was in the same draft class as Machado and.
No, Mike Trout was 2009.
Oh, wait, he was 09. That was Mike Trout, 09. Because he came up in 2010. Yeah, that's right.
Let's see.
Who came up in 2010?
Who the fuck did we take?
In 09?
God, the fact that I don't think we didn't even have a first round pick that year.
No,
well, damn.
Because we were good. Because remember we.
Oh, that's right. I'm a fucking moron. Series. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yankees could have gotten Harper Machado. Yeah.
Well, Steven Strasburg was the number 1 overall pick in 2009.
Yeah, the only reason why we didn't get the number 1 or we weren't high in the draft because we were in the World Series that year, lost to the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So,
but yeah,
we got.
Put it this way: the Yankees have not made the World Series since they beat us.
Yep.
And like Dante said, they're.
Yep. But the one narrative they got is the 27 World Championships.
But Dante, the roof is open.
Or the fences are moved back. Oh God, I would have heard that excuse. Like I would just punch somebody.
Benintendi is hurt. Or
Benintendi has not been himself since his days in Boston.
He left the Royals. Since he left the Royals, he was a 330 average hitter.
Exactly. Like the dude just couldn't stay healthy.
He's not the same hitter.
Even in Boston,
but here's the thing: in Boston, Benintendi was actually pretty good.
I think
he was actually a superstar in Boston.
And they just let that man.
Benintendi was good.
He turned into
we traded him.
He turned into a 330 hitter in Kansas City. But the only thing about that, his power dipped in Kansas City. His power,
power went down.
Went down. His power went down. So speaking of those Yankees, in the offseason, they got Judge on the free agent block. We know they got Harrison Bader, who pretty much Bader carried them into the into this series with the Astros. He's the reason why they were in the series with the Astros in the first place, because he had 4 of his home runs against the Guardians and 1 of them last night. That equals 5 home runs. So what should they do? They got Aaron Hicks. He's not going to be back. Marwin Gonzalez is not going to be back. You got to go through an Aaron Judge. You got to pay Aaron Judge. I'm figuring you got to pay him. But I would be will make me more happy if Aaron Judge somehow walk. If Aaron Judge somehow walk, you can say deuces to the Yankees organization and franchise.
Because the way that I see it is because with all the because look, like this also applies to Mike Trout. Judge is not getting any younger. He's already hit, like Don said, Judge is right now is already entering the prime of his career. You have nothing. You don't have that much to work with going forward. So if I'm the Yankees, and the way that how Judge, and if I'm Judge's mind, if I'm really thinking about it, if I'm Judge, seeing this team constantly being a first or second round exit each and every year, do I even want to go back? I mean, yes, you had probably the best regular seasons that we've seen, but knowing that Aaron Boone has not done anything to help you, or the rest of that team, or same with Brian Cashman not building around you, I will get out of there. I will get out of New York and go somewhere else, and try to test my market elsewhere. Because if a team needs an outfielder, a power hitting outfielder, I mean, that's is a consistent playoff contender. Yeah, that's the way I see it, because a team like the Yankees does not deserve a talent like Judge. I'm sorry. The fact they're going to constantly be a first or second round exit each and every year and constantly making excuses, I think Judge walks. And that's the way I see it. I think he should test the free agent market.
Two things: fire Cashman, fire Boone. First thing I would do: fire Cashman, fire Boone, and then if Aaron Judge walks, blow it up, rebuild, suck for a few years, actually develop talent, and then you can start to compete again. But the writing's on the wall, guys. This team
is overrated.
This team's overrated. Also, you have your star player wanting to walk out. He didn't even sign an extension that you were trying to give him. Early in the season,
because he bet on himself.
He bet on himself. He tried to give you his best the entire season. He struggled in the playoffs. Yes, part of that is his fault. He struggled in the playoffs, but the rest of the team struggled. The writing's on the wall. He's out. Let's face it, he's out.
Sorry,
and to be honest too, if Judge is out and they keep the same lineup, this team's not making the playoff. This team's not making the playoffs.
I can see the way that I can see it. Like, if hypothetically that's happened, I see the Tampa Bay's overpassing them. I see the Toronto Blue Jays might take the division, because it's bad enough. It's like, look, I like the Toronto Blue Jays. I think they have so much better talent than the New York Yankees, and that's what separates between them. Because Toronto has young talent, they got some veterans on there. It's an even balance. Yes, I know they fell short because their bullpen absolutely fucking sucks, but I mean, that's something I feel like Toronto has to fix, because they got a good pitching staff, they got good talent. Kevin Beach can wake the fuck up. That would be great for them. I mean, catcher.
That's the thing. That's the thing. The Yankees are gonna be terrible next year without Judge.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I really don't see Harrison Bader coming back either,
because I think that dude has been very underrated.
I don't see Harrison Bader coming back next year. I don't.
I think he should.
He's walking. He's walking. Him and Judge are walking. I'm telling you that right now. And I feel like this team is going to be bad. Hold on. Let me finish. I feel like Harrison Bader's going to go. Aaron Judge is going to go. Cashman's getting fired, and Boone's getting fired. And this team's going to blow it up. And this team is going to be terrible, and they need to develop talent. That's what they need to do. That's the key thing to going back into contention.
But I got a question.
Your talent.
Robert, I got a question for both of y'all. Judge hit 62 home runs this year, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Can you blame him from struggling against an elite baseball team while you ain't got no other body besides Harrison Bader struggling in the playoffs? Judge been carrying you all season long. That's the reason why you're in the damn playoffs. In the first of all, he's the reason why you're in the playoffs alone.
That's
Harrison
a very good
Bader
question.
Was the reason why they against the Astros. Can you really? I think the fatigue kind of got to him.
I think
he played against a elite team that know how to pitch.
Series. Just because, I mean, look, the dude had a spectacular year, and yes, I mean, look, it's not just him that he got tired. We've seen their entire lineup getting tired, except for Harrison Bader and they have a couple others in that lineup. And Cashman, we know he has made, and the fact he threw Giovanni Urshela under the bus, because the dude's a young. And shit, even though the Minnesota Twins was not great, he balled out for them.
He's a young talent. He is a young talent.
And you threw that man under the bus.
You call him a bus. He goes, "Oh, Josh Donaldson is
Josh,
better."
I'll put it on record. Josh Donaldson has not been the same since 2015. I'm putting that. The dude's washed. The dude is washed and is an overrated defender.
Josh Donaldson struck out every at bat in the
that's what I'm saying. Dude,
he struck out every.
He's like the version of Kyle Schwarber. He's a right-handed Kyle Schwarber.
That's all he is. In every at bat. Every at bat he struck out down there pretty much.
And you looked at how Giovanni Urshela played in New York with the Yankees, much better defender, has a great bat, and you gave up on him. Are you New York, man? Y'all got to do better. But like I say, I don't think the fault doesn't really fall on Judge. And look, Judge, yes, I get it. You know, when you get into the postseason, yeah, it is kind of exhausting.
You want to be big time when you get to the postseason. You want to be big time, but he's the reason why the Yankees team even in the playoffs with 62 home runs. And Harrison Bader was the reason why they played us in the finals.
And don't get me wrong,
in the postseason.
I will say this too. They do have a good pitching staff. I think they have a good starting rotation.
Yeah, they have a solid pitching staff.
But their bullpen, they got to retool that bullpen because Aroldis Chapman is washed. You got to cut your losses with him. It's just the pieces around them. And most like we said, it's mostly veterans. You know, Rizzo. I mean, Rizzo has been. I mean, I think he's been somewhat consistent too.
The guys on the downturn. Let's face it. He's on the downturn of his career. We're seeing it, but
it's crazy enough.
This is why, Rob, and this is why when it got to the playoffs, did we or did we not say the Guardians were winning against the Yankees?
I did. I said that.
I had the Guardians winning
because we knew that this team was not good enough. We knew it. They got lucky.
Luck my ass. Pause.
Harrison Bader saved them. Oh
yeah,
he saved them against the Guardians. They didn't have Harrison Bader. They would have lost. They would have lost.
That's why I say they got lucky against the Guardians. The Guardians would have ran the table. The Guardians would have ran away with the thing. Yeah, and it would have been Guardians, and it literally would have been Guardians. It probably would have been Guardians Astros ALCS.
That's what I wanted to see.
I wanted to see that more than the Yankees. I knew the Yankees would get swept. I knew that.
But I mean, did we all want to see them just go down in misery? Because let's be real, we just enjoy laughing at the Yankees' pain. But that's besides the point because the Yankees do have 17 players who are going to be free agents. Judge, Chapman, Rizzo, Britton. He's going to be a free agent. Severino, Benintendi, Jimison Tyone, Chad Green. Where the hell has Chad Green have been? He's another guy that's gone.
Hey, Robert, take over for me right quick. I'll be back. The next topic are what's going on with what's going to happen with the Dodgers in the offseason and who's the Gold Gloves winners. Take over for me right quick.
That's good.
I'm not back. Just end the stream whenever y'all get ready, but take over right quick.
All right. But yeah, so the Dodgers, man, where do we go with it? See now the Dodgers. That's
where do we go with the Dodgers, huh?
Ooh, I don't see. They really don't have that much holes though. That's the crazy part.
They don't. I think.
But what actually, you know what?
I think the problem was. The bats were blank. The bats were blank by the better pitching that the Padres had at that time.
I also feel like too, and yeah, that's a very good point. Cody Bellinger is another issue, and he's one of the weakest links in that lineup. You know,
I feel like Belly needs to go. They need to replace him.
I think they're definitely because they got the money to spend. Let's be real.
They definitely need to improve on their bullpen,
especially towards that back end because their back end has not been
that back end. Yeah, that back end's been terrible.
And I'd be seeing Dodgers fans, criticizing how bad their back end, their closer situation is.
But they're close. They're very close.
It's not that far off. I mean, they really had a solid closer. Oh, God, who was a solid closer? Who was the Dodgers? What since the days of Eric Gagne, I think you could say. Good Lord, God, how the fuck are some? Or and then,
sorry, my baby cousin's on the phone.
Hi, buddy. But I think another issue that the Dodgers and this is a good point by Daniel. Dave Roberts has really costed this team to be where They won. God, what?
Dave Roberts is another one. I don't think it was his fault because managers do tend to overmanage
Overmanage.
sometimes in some games. Rob Thompson did it.
And it
You were
worked for
already
us.
calling for that guy's head. I'm like, dude, calm down.
I know, but it's just. But I think at times Dave Roberts. At times, I think there's
The only problem is that at times he does overmanage.
And
Same thing with like I said, Rob Thompson did it in a few games. The only thing that I would really worry about is the hitting coach. Because for some reason when they got to the ALDS or the NLDS,
I think
they were completely No, what? Wait, I didn't freeze. You didn't freeze.
Okay.
No, I did not. I'm good.
Got
But like I said, I was thinking. That was why I wasn't moving. But that was the reason why they were blanked in the NLDS.
Yeah.
Because their hitting was just atrocious. But I don't know what it was, whether it was their approach. They even blanked one of the best hitters in baseball, Freddie Freeman.
And
which was shocking.
It's very shocking.
They completely blanked him.
And I would say that, and the issue with what I have with Dave Roberts too is like the way that I see it is like if you have a guy that's really on this game, like say, perfect example when Kershaw had 80-something pitches, like on a perfect game, and you pull the man, like that's where that ruins it for me. You know, as a manager, if you leave your starter in, this is why. Yes, I get it from a player's perspective from Dave Roberts, but from seeing Dave Roberts how he manages a lot of things, it hurts the Dodgers most of the time. Yeah. Even though yet, despite the point of the 111 games, but throughout the 162 game season, we see them. I mean, take it from us. We took 3 out of 4 out of them on their own home turf because of his ineptitude.
And here's the thing. What happened in those games where we lost? Rob Thompson overmanaged the game where we could have won. He did that in the playoffs. Overmanaged where we could have won.
Yeah. But he's very strategic on how he does it, and for some reason it works for us.
It's like, but with the Dodgers, I don't think they need to blow it up. They can run it back. They just need to get rid of some players like Belly.
I mean, Turner's already getting up there in age, so I think you can cut.
Turner's getting up there in age. We need to get somebody younger. Just a hot bat.
I mean, even though I know Dodgers fans don't want to part with trade Justin Turner. Well, let's be real. I thought he actually was really good for them over the years, though, since he joined the Dodgers.
Yeah, get rid of Justin Turner. I mean, because you don't want to keep him and he goes bad and he goes sour.
I mean, dudes are 37, about to turn 38 very soon. So I mean, yeah, it just makes sense.
Yeah,
you have a good outfield, so you don't only have you can run it back with that outfield, though. I mean,
you can run it back with the outfield. You can get a better third baseman. I shouldn't say better, but a younger third baseman.
I mean, they can grab one from their farm system. I can tell. I know that for.
Good. They have some good prospects down there. Yeah, you can totally run it back with this team. You just got to fix the hitting. Because whether it's their approach, whether it's that they're impatient, whether it's they're trying to belt the ball all the time, I don't know what's going on. But
yeah, before my internet cut out, motherfucker. But yeah, Gavin. Well, Will Smith's more. Actually, that's Vargas Smith. But I feel like Gavin Lux makes more sense over at third base. I think
Gavin Lux would make a lot of sense.
I mean, he's younger. I mean, he's got more and you could have him at the top of the order. I mean, like I said, the only few holes I see is maybe third base and the back end.
Yeah, I would say third base because we know Justin Turner is leaving, and they're probably not going to resign him because he's old. And that back end of that bullpen. Once you fix those two positions, you could totally
you're back to where you are.
You could totally run it back. Heck, they could beat us next year in the playoffs with a better team.
Yeah, I mean, this like I said, it's really nothing much to fix with the Dodgers, just because the fact that you have, probably a top 5 farm system That was great.
Yeah.
I mean, and for me, it's not shocking because I mean, they knew it. They could see potential a talent where they see it.
That's a good choice too. That is a very good choice. I could
Edwin,
see them in the Edwin Rios sweepstakes.
really?
I can see that. I can see him going to the Dodgers
It's yeah, and shit.
because
They got a good catching core too.
because they are ridiculously close to a championship again. They are ridiculously close.
I
But
forgot
that
again,
that back half of that bullpen is a question mark for them, and he can fit that back end because he fit that back end with the Mets this year.
Yeah,
So we could be hearing the trumpets in L.A.
that's Edwin Diaz actually.
Oh wait, no, that's Edwin Diaz. Never mind. Who's it?
But
Yeah, I mean,
you know
I
what?
would
That
say
does make sense
I
though.
wouldn't say Edwin Rios. I wouldn't say Edwin Rios. I would say Edwin Diaz.
Because yeah, Diaz, you got to. He's only 28 though, so you can get him for a good period of time.
I would say
Because their closer situation isn't the greatest. I mean, Craig Kimbrell stunk up the joint. Cut your losses with him.
Fred Kimbrell was just absolutely terrible.
It's a shame though, man.
He's washed. He was so good. He was so good with Atlanta. He was good with who else?
San Diego for a handful of years.
For a while. He was good for. Didn't he play for the Diamondbacks one time?
No, but he had some. I think one good year with the Dodgers before he went south.
Oh, he was with the Dodgers. He was. Yeah, that was the next team was the Dodgers. He was good with Atlanta, San Diego,
and also had one good year with the Chicago Cubs along the way.
Cubs.
And that was it.
Yeah, that was it. And then that was it for his career. I feel like he either needs to move, or he needs to retire.
Because I mean,
your best bet, Kimbrell, is to just retire.
I mean, you could definitely make the argument he could be a Hall of Famer. That's for sure. I mean, he had a really good.
He's for sure in.
I mean, shit. You're at top when it comes to top three relievers, closers of all time. You have Trevor Hoffman, Mariano Rivera, and who we're talking about again? Kimbrell. Holy crap! God, I feel like I have Alzheimer's right now. But Diaz, I
don't think you have Alzheimer's. I think you had a stroke for like a second.
But I mean, Diaz though, that does make sense. That could definitely help them in the back end. I could definitely see that because if you could throw a good chunk of money at him, I wouldn't be surprised if he did leave New York and go to the Dodgers.
Yeah,
but yeah, what about you, Dante? So because me and Tyler kind of talk about because we've seen some holes. That's third base in the back end of the bullpen.
Yeah, I think the back end of the bullpen needs to be addressed by the Los Angeles Dodgers because that's what hurted them throughout the playoffs against the San Diego series. I thought their pitching did pretty well, and so a lot of people don't bring up this Dave Robertson issue too. His management in late stages of the situation of the game, where he pulled Tyler Anderson out in that fifth inning. You remember when it was all up late night, and the Padres came back and won the game.
Yeah,
pulled Tyler Anderson. They only had 2 hits off of him, and he threw 80 pitches. Are you trying to keep your season alive, or are you trying to get your season ended? At that point, he got his season ended. You got to let that dude pitch in that stages of the game. You got to let him pitch. They couldn't hit him. They only got 2 hits off of him. And I think Dave Roberts, like I said, I think he's a problem for the Dodgers. And that's another thing that's another manager you should consider putting on the hot seat and firing, as well as Aaron Boone. So I think the Dodgers, they got to try to
that's where I think differently. Over managing is not, it's an issue for every team. So I'd give him a pass. The problem is that they just don't have a back half of the bullpen, and he was using the back half of the bullpen, and it was just for me. All they really need is just the back half of that bullpen to be fixed, and then they don't have to worry about, over managing that bullpen in those games, in those late game situations. I think firing him would be a stretch. But I feel like if they fix the third base position, because Justin Turner's walking, and and that back half of that bullpen, I feel like the overmanaging won't be an issue that much, honestly. So firing him, I feel like it'd be a stretch.
But I mean, at least just try put him on the hot seat to take in consideration. If it happens again, if it happens again with a better bullpen, fire him. Because that's already in chips. But yeah. So
Yeah,
I think the last thing it was the gold. I think the Gold Gloves.
The Gold Gloves. Like who will win? Who y'all think, Robert? I believe you went over the list the other day, just last night. So who you guys got as the Gold Glove winners?
Well,
and that will be the last topic of the night.
For the positions though, like I said, with the American League of the right field, it's
see that's a tough one because
it's coming down to Max Kepler or Kyle Tucker. But with all like statistics wise, I think Max Kepler might. My sleeper pick is Kyle Tucker, but when it comes to statistically, it's probably going to be Max Kepler that's going to have to get the Gold Glove. Like I said, the right field is going to be a tough one because you have Kepler who led all right fielders with 12 outs above average, and then you had Tucker with second it has 5. So statistically, that goes in the favor of Max Kepler, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle Tucker gets one. I really wouldn't be surprised.
Yep.
Center field. Well, actually, let me get Tyler's on that. So where do you think that's going to go? Max Kepler or Kyle Tucker? Because Jackie Bradley Jr. sucks.
I would have to go with Kyle Tucker. That's where I have to go.
I'm gonna go with Tyler. I'm gonna go with Kyle Tucker. I'm gonna go with Kyle Tucker.
Because I just feel like it seems to me I think he had a much better year than Max Kepler. It was Max Kepler had a better statistical year.
Yeah.
But knowing that the Minnesota Twins are not in the playoffs, I think that should be taken into consideration. Should factor into being for me, anyways. But center field, you have some Cedric Mullins, Miles Straw, and Michael A. Taylor. But 2 out of the 3 for me, I think are more defensive center fielders. But no, I think for me, I'm going to go with Cedric Mullins for me from the Baltimore Ravens. Or Orioles, wrong Baltimore team. Shit, when am I thinking football? But you kind of get the idea. I feel like not just his defense, but he's also good with the bat too, which also can improve your value as a Gold Glove winner. For me, Cedric Mullins is my guy for center field.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Miles Straw, the ex-Houston Astro. I like him at center field. I'm gonna go with Miles Straw.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Oh, hell.
You can hear me, Tyler?
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I said I told him I was gonna go with Miles Straw from Cleveland, the Cleveland Guardian. I'm gonna take Miles Straw to win it.
Yeah, he's going with Miles Straw, Rob.
Miles Straw is an interesting pick.
Yep.
What about you, Tyler?
I'm going to go with Miles Straw too. He's been really, really good for the Astros this year.
He's with Cleveland.
Yeah, we traded him to Cleveland. We traded him to Cleveland. But yeah, I like him.
Yeah,
I
went to Cleveland. Never mind.
Yeah, I like him. I like Miles Straw. He's good. He's pretty good.
Left field, you have Andrew Benintendi, Stephen Kwan, and Brandon Marsh.
I'm going Brandon Marsh.
I'm taking
Brandon Marsh. Brandon Marsh has really, really played very, very well, and he earned that Gold Glove.
But I feel like the voters are going to go lean with Stephen Kwan because I think he had a better year than Brandon Marsh had.
Yeah, considering they're probably going to go with the full season and the fact that he plays for Philly.
Yeah, and he got traded
about it.
Yeah, he got traded for Philly too, though, so that could kind of hurt his cause as well.
But
yeah, which is bullcrap because he plays for Philly. So what? He should be in the running for this, and he should be chosen.
I mean,
but no, since he plays for Philly, he's not going to be chosen because their team sucks and their fans suck. Come on.
And it's crazy that even though he's a center fielder, but they let him play him as 8. But he had led all other rookies with 8 outs above average. So he was the second best defender in this category with Stephen. Even though Stephen Kwan had probably a good statistical year at 12 OAA, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Third base, though, I don't know. I don't know where we want to go with this. Matt Chapman from Toronto, Jose Ramirez, and Ramon Urias. I'm going to say J-Ram. I think J-Ram, is one of those solid third basemen Ramon Urias, I don't really see. I mean, you could definitely make the argument, but Matt Chapman, I think he's kind of took a step back a little bit this year. But for me, I'm taking J Ram.
Yeah, I'm taking Jose Ramirez. I'm going Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with J Ram too.
Because it makes more sense with J Ram.
Yep.
The shortstop, I can see one or two. They can win this one. Xander Bogaerts and Jeremy Pena, and you also got Carlos Correa in there as well. But for me, crap, this is going to be a tough one because Jeremy Pena also had a good year. Same with Xander Bogaerts. That's a problem. Screw it, give me Jeremy Pena. I think Jeremy Pena is going to be a sleeper pick for the Gold Glove. I think the fact that he led all shortstops with 15 defensive runs. See, I think that should speak of how valuable that dude's glove is.
I question this glove. I knew he had good defense, but I didn't know he was going to be that goddamn good. But like I say, I'm going to go with Carlos Correa because I know they won't give it to Jeremy Pena. I know they're going to find a way to screw Jeremy Pena over. 15 assists, defensive save, including one last night. That's a heck of a year for Jeremy Pena, defensively and offensively. And I'm campaigning for him to win a Gold Glove. But I'm going to take Carlos Correa.
Ooh. What about you, Tyler? Bogaerts, Correa, or Pena?
I'm going to go with Pena.
Yeah, I could see why. Because you really think about it. Because for me, what I factor in is just like how valuable is a glove, and for me, I think should we also take the fact that if your team's in the postseason. So for me, I feel like I want to go with Pena because I think. Look, and I like Bogaerts. I think Bogaerts is a good defender, but Pena is a whole different animal. I think he's been proven, even though being a young shortstop, the fact he has 15 defensive runs saved, that is impressive for a young shortstop. But then again, that's what you get from developing. Yankees, take fucking notes right there.
Yep.
Second base. So this is an interesting group. You got Andres Jimenez from Cleveland, Jonathan Scope, or Marcus Semien from the Texas Rangers. For me, it's Andres Jimenez. I think that dude has come up really kind of out of the woodwork since leaving New York, since leaving the Mets. Or is it no? He played with the Mets and the Giants, but Scope statistically had 27 outs above average, which led all MLB players. So, even though I don't know, but Siemens already got one. I want to go with Andres Jimenez. I think he's going to be an underrated pick.
I got Jimenez too. I got Andres Jimenez too.
What about you, Tyler?
I got Jimenez. Jimenez
right across the board. Okay, that's interesting. So, first base for the American League, you have Luis Arias, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and Anthony Rizzo. Whew, let's see. That's an interesting one. I'm going to go to take Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I think he had a really good defensive year at first base, anyways. But for me, because and we knew that Rizzo is down on the back end of his career. But I wouldn't be surprised if Luis Arias is going to make some noise.
Oh, what happened to him? What happened to Rob?
The internet went off on him.
Yeah. I'm gonna take Anthony Rizzo. I'm gonna take Anthony Rizzo.
I'm taking Rizzo too.
Robert kicked himself out that mud.
Kick myself out.
Yeah. So I took Anthony Rizzo.
Really, Rizzo?
Yeah.
And I took Rizzo too.
I don't know. Even though Rizzo is good defensively, but is he really good? I don't know about that one. Okay, we'll see. But catcher, though, I don't know about this list. I mean, you got Sean Murphy, Cal Raleigh, and Jose Trevino for the New York Yankees. I thought Sean Murphy had a really good defensive year, even though that Oakland team is absolute hot garbage. Sorry, Jake, if you're watching this, but I am going to trash your Oakland A's for being absolute dog crap. Cal Raleigh had a really good year, but God damn, this is a tough. This American League catcher list is really tough. I don't know about this. I'm going to go with Sean Murphy from the Oakland A's.
I'm gonna go with Kyle Raleigh from the Seattle Mariners.
Cal Raleigh's a good choice.
I'm
Tyler?
going with Cal. I'm going with Cal too.
Oh, okay. See, like I said, that's a good group right there for the
Yep.
catchers. So it can go either way. Now the pitchers, though, I think one on this list, I think is we could go across the board. We got Jose Barrios, Shane Bieber, and Jameson Tyone. For me, I'm taking Shane Bieber because I think he had one of the better years out of these two.
Bieber.
Dante?
What was the nominees?
You got Jose Barrios from Toronto, Shane Bieber, and Jameson Tyone.
I'm going with Shane Bieber.
Because I feel, I could definitely see that. Because, I mean, Barrios had a down year, and Jameson Tyone, he's nowhere to be found. Utility. So the utility position, which is, I think is a new thing now. You got DJ LeMahieu from the Yankees, Whit Merrifield, and Luis Rengifo from the Angels. You know what? Give me DJ. I think DJ has really proved valuable as a utility guy. I love Whit Merrifield, but I think DJ is better offensively and defensively. Dante?
Yep.
Who's
you say what?
who's your choice for the utility for the Gold Glove for the American League? Yeah,
What was the
DJ
nominees?
LeMahieu, Whit Merrifield, and Luis Rengifo from the Anaheim Angels.
Give me Whit Merrifield.
Ooh, okay, that's it. You could definitely make the argument for that. Tyler?
I'm going with Merrifield too.
Okay. So now we're to the National League for right field. So you got Mookie Betts, Juan Soto, Dalton Varsho. The easy choice for me is Mookie Betts. I think Mookie Betts is just too good not to get to win one again. I think Mookie Betts right across the board, I'm guessing. Tyler, your choice?
Wait, what were the choices?
Mookie Betts, Juan Soto, and Dalton Varsho from the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I'm gonna have to give it to Mookie.
For me, yeah, I took Mookie as well. I think he's just too good not to ignore. Dante?
Say what?
Who's your choice for the right field in the National League?
So what's the nominees?
Mookie Betts, Juan Soto, and Dalton Varsho from the Arizona Diamondbacks.
You mean Mookie Betts?
Mookie, I had to feel Mookie across the board. So center field, your National League nominees for the Gold Glove in center field, you have Trent Grisham, Victor Robles, and Alec Thomas from the Arizona Diamondbacks. So that's an interesting one. You know what? Give me Victor Robles from the Washington Nationals. I think Victor Robles has really been a really good defensive center fielder for them, even though Washington hasn't really been that good. But he's proved his worth for me, is Victor Robles.
Give me Trent Grisham from the Padres.
All right, got Victor Robles for me. Dante, Trent Grisham. Tyler?
I'm going with Trent Grisham.
Trent Grisham? Okay.
Yep.
Left field. We got Ian Happ from Chicago Cubs, David Peralta from Arizona with Arizona and Tampa Bay, and the Milwaukee's Christian Yelich. For me, I'm giving it to Ian Happ because David Peralta really hasn't shown to be a Gold Glove winner. Same with Christian Yelich. Because Yelich is what the hell happened? Yelich is a huge enigma at this point. I'm going to give it to Ian Happ. That's my choice for the left field.
Ian Happ for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Christian Yelich from the Brewers.
Yelich.
Wow, he's had a down year.
Yep.
A very down year.
He had a down year. That's on offensively, but if you talking about in the Gold Glove situation, yeah, that goes to anything. Anything goes on the Gold Glove situation. He had a down year for his, bats, for his batting and stuff like that. But for his defense, it's a reason why he mentioned on that Gold Glove situation. His defense was good.
You know what? That does make sense, though. Third base, we have Nolan Arenado from the Cardinals, Brian Hayes from Pittsburgh, and Ryan McMahon getting a nod for the Gold Glove from the Colorado Rockies.
I'm going to give it to Nolan Arenado.
I'm giving it to Nolan.
Nato is just it's Nato's too goddamn
It's
good.
clean sweep. It's clean sweep.
Because Brian Hayes pretty well. I mean, at times he doesn't know where he is. At times in certain games, but yeah, shortstop for the National League. You have Ha-Seong Kim from the Padres, Miguel Rojas from the Miami Marlins, and Dansby Swanson from the Atlanta Braves. For me, I'm taking Swanson. I mean, I think he had a really better defensive year. I'm not taking anything away from Ha-Seong Kim, but I think when it comes to the better defensive year, that's Dansby Swanson for me. I think Dansby Swanson is too. I think he has proved his glove is way too valuable to really help, especially help that Braves team defensively anyway. So for me, I'm giving it to Dansby Swanson. Tyler, who's your Dansby?
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Coach Dante?
I'm going with Dansby Swanson.
Dansby clean sweep. Now, second base is going to be interesting. You got Jake Cronenworth from the Padres, Tommy Edman from the Cardinals, and the Brendan Rodgers from the Colorado Rockies. For me, it's Cronenworth. I mean, what else is there to say about Jake Cronenworth? I mean, he's really proved too valuable for the Padres.
For the Charger.
Dante?
Jaden Cronenworth.
No, so Cronenworth. What about you, Tyler?
Taking Cronenworth. Cronenworth has been very, very good defensively. Very, very good.
Now, first base, 2 out of 3. That's going to be a tough one because you got Paul Goldschmidt, Matt Olson, and Christian Walker may get a nod for Gold Glove at first base. Oh, that's a tough one because
Who were the things?
Paul Goldschmidt from the Cardinals, Matt Olson from the Braves, and Christian Walker from the Diamondbacks.
Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah, I'm taking Goldie. I think when it comes to the statistical and a very good offensive year, I think Goldschmidt is like right across the board for me. Dante?
So we got Paul Goldschmidt and who else? Christian Walker and who else?
Matt Olson.
I'm going with Matt Olson.
Well, Matt Olson, yes, you can definitely make the argument for. And he also had a pretty good year, too. Okay. Now for catcher. We got Travis d'Arnaud from the Braves, Tomas Nido from the Mets, and JT Realmuto from the Fighting Phils.
I'm going to say this right now. JT Realmuto.
I'm going JT because I think when it comes to, I think you'd also make the argument with Travis d'Arnaud, but I don't think he's near JT's level this year when it comes to throwing out base runners at an elite level that he has done. I wouldn't be surprised if JT's a 2-time Gold Glove winner. So that's where I'm dealing with JT. Dante?
JT Realmuto.
Ooh, okay.
Come on, Charger.
And we got 2 more. Yeah, so we got 2 more categories. Next category we're on the pitcher category. So the candidates are Tyler Anderson from the Dodgers, Corbin Burns from Milwaukee, and Max Fried from the Atlanta Braves.
Max Fried.
I'm taking Max Fried.
I'm going to go with Tyler Anderson from the Dodgers.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yep.
I mean, he had really. Last category, we got the utility. We got Brandon Donovan, Dalton Varsho, and Tommy Edman. So you got 2 Cardinals and 2 Cardinals players and Dalton Varsho from the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Tommy Edman.
I'm going to go with Dalton Varsho.
I'm gonna go with Dalton Varsho as well
because I feel like because Edman has at times shown his flaws sometimes defensively. But yeah, so that is going to be the Gold Glove winner. Our predictions for the Gold Glove winners.
All right, I'm gonna have to leave here. My phone's dying, and I'm wrestling with my charger right now. So
and Tyler, don't forget we also have our thing at later today at 7. The review.
Yeah. So
here's the thing: I don't know if I'm gonna make it because my phone my phone. I have to charge it up, and usually when I use StreamYard, it drains my battery still.
Right. So I mean,
so can we move that to tomorrow?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
But with that being said, though, that's going to be it for another Between the Lines. I know Key had to be in the chat. So appreciate Tyler coming on. But yeah, so it's gonna be fun seeing what this postseason is going to be holding, especially for the Fall Classic. I think me and Dante
Yep.
will be on the call.
Yep.
Well, for me, for a couple of games, because games 1 and 2 will not be available for that. So let's see if Dante's going to be in the call for games 1 and 2. But other than that, though, Dante, man, it was another good episode of the Between the Lines
episode. Yes, sir.
But with that being said, though, we'll see. It's Coach Dante and Robert and Tyler, even though he kind of left because his phone's dying. That being said, we'll see you guys on the next one.
On the next one, y'all.